Do you remember a time when movement was effortless? When your body flowed, unburdened by aches or stiffness, responding to your every whim with grace and power. For many, that memory fades, replaced by a growing reluctance to move, a fear of the creaks and groans that signal aging joints. We tell ourselves it's inevitable, that the cartilage is worn out, like an old tire, destined for replacement. We resign ourselves to a life of diminishing activity, believing that rest is the only answer. That movement will only hasten the decline. But what if that belief, that deep-seated conviction, was entirely wrong? What if the very thing we feared, movement, was precisely what our bodies craved? The key to unlocking a future of renewed vitality? Meet Eleanor. For years, she had been a whirlwind of activity, a keen gardener, a spirited dancer, a regular on hiking trails. But lately, her world had shrunk. The morning stiffness in her knees had grown from a minor annoyance to a persistent ache, making every step a conscious effort. Her beloved Cocker Spaniel, Archie, still looked at her with hopeful eyes, leash in mouth, but the thought of a long walk filled Eleanor with dread. She tried everything, supplements, creams, even periods of complete rest, convinced her cartilage was simply gone. Her doctor offered the familiar narrative of degenerative changes and the distant promise of surgery. Eleanor felt trapped, watching her vibrant life fade, one painful step at a time, believing her joints were brittle, ready to shatter. One gloomy Tuesday, while nursing lukewarm tea and scrolling through gardening forums, a name caught her eye: Dr. Ben Carter, a physical therapist known for his unconventional approach to joint health. Intrigued, Eleanor booked a consultation, more out of desperation than hope. Dr. Carter had a kind smile and eyes that sparkled with genuine enthusiasm. "Eleanor," he began, "let's talk about cartilage. What do you think it is?" Eleanor shrugged. "Worn-out padding. Mostly, like a cushion that's lost its stuffing." Dr. Carter chuckled softly. "A common misconception, and one that does us a great disservice. Imagine your cartilage not as a dead, passive cushion, but as a living, breathing sponge. A sponge that thrives on movement." Eleanor frowned. "A sponge? But I thought it was just smooth tissue." "It is smooth, yes, but remarkably alive," he explained, leaning forward. "Here's the crucial part, Eleanor. Cartilage is not dead tissue, It's living tissue, capable of self-repair and adaptation. Think about that. It's dynamic, and the worst thing you can do for it? Avoiding movement." He continued, picking up a small anatomical model of a knee joint. "When you move, especially with gentle, cyclical motions, your cartilage acts like that living sponge. It compresses and expands, drawing in synovial fluid, your joint's natural lubricant and nutrient delivery system, and then squeezing out waste products. Without movement, it becomes dry, stiff, and starved of nourishment, much like a sponge left to dry out." Eleanor felt a flicker of curiosity. "So, movement actually helps it?" "Precisely. Gentle, cyclical movement isn't just lubricating, it's stimulating. It tells the cartilage cells, called chondrocytes, to get to work. They start producing more collagen and more matrix, the very building blocks that make cartilage thicker, more elastic, and more resilient. It's why weightlifters, despite heavy loads, often have thicker, healthier cartilage in their working joints than someone completely sedentary. Their joints are constantly stimulated and challenged. Within reason. This isn't about magic pills, Eleanor, or radical surgery, Dr. Carter said, his voice warm. It's about understanding your body's incredible capacity for renewal. We have a simple, 3-step method we call GSP, glide, strengthen, progress, It's designed to keep your joints healthy, pain-free, and moving for years to come. Eleanor felt cautious optimism. GSP. Yes, he affirmed. The first step is glide. This is all about hydration and gentle stimulation. Think of it as ray-wetting that dry sponge. We use cyclical, low-impact movements to gently pump nutrients into your cartilage. Stationary cycling, elliptical training, or rowing are excellent choices. The key is moderate resistance, nothing too strenuous, and consistency. Aim for 10 to 15 minutes, once or twice a day. It's not about breaking a sweat or pushing through pain, but about smooth, rhythmic motion. Imagine your joint sighing with relief as it gets a fresh supply of fluid. Eleanor started that very afternoon. She dug out her old stationary bike, dusted it off, and tentatively climbed on. Her knees protested at first, a familiar stiffness, but she remembered Dr. Carr's words, listen to your body, but don't let fear dictate. She set the resistance low, pedaling slowly, focusing on the smooth, circular motion. It wasn't exhilarating, but it wasn't agonizing either. After 10 minutes, she felt a subtle warmth in her knees, a faint sense of ease that hadn't been there before. The next morning, the stiffness wasn't entirely gone, but it felt less sharp. She repeated the glide exercise, and again, felt that gentle warmth, that subtle relief. Day after day, she pedaled, sometimes twice, sometimes just once, gradually increasing the resistance just a tiny bit, always listening. After 2 weeks, she noticed something remarkable. Her morning stiffness was noticeably reduced. Getting out of bed felt less like a wrestling match. You're doing wonderfully, Eleanor, Dr. Carter had said during their follow-up call. Now that your cartilage is better hydrated and more receptive, it's time for the next crucial step, strengthen ***. This is where we build the robust support system your joints need. Eleanor leaned closer to the phone. Strengthen? You mean like lifting weights? Exactly. But focused, we're targeting the major muscle groups that surround and support your joints, your quads, glutes, hamstrings, and calves. These muscles act like natural shock absorbers, taking the brunt of impact and reducing direct pressure on your cartilage. Stronger muscles mean happier joints. We'll aim to train each muscle group twice a week, using slow and controlled repetitions, 2-3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. The focus isn't on speed, but on form and control. Really feeling those muscles work. Eleanor felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. Strengthening sounded more challenging than gentle gliding, but the small improvements from glide had given her a precious gift, hope. She was ready to take the next step, to truly invest in her body's capacity for healing. The thought of building strength, of feeling more capable, more resilient, was a powerful motivator. The path ahead seemed clear, no longer shrouded in the fog of despair. But what would this strengthening phase truly entail? And after that, what did progress really mean for someone who had avoided impact for so long? The journey had just begun, and Eleanor was eager to discover what lay beyond this new horizon. Eleanor took a deep breath, the phone still warm in her hand. Strengthen. The word itself felt like a challenge, a promise. She remembered Dr. Carter's words, the focus isn't on speed, but on form and control, really feeling those muscles work. She knew this wasn't about pushing through pain, but about building intelligently, thoughtfully. Her first few strengthening sessions were tentative. Following Dr. Carter's guidance, she started with bodyweight exercises, gentle squats, lunges, glute bridges, and calf raises. She moved slowly, deliberately, focusing on the engagement of her quads, the lift in her glutes, the subtle burn in her hamstrings. It wasn't easy. There were days her muscles ached in a new way, a healthy ache, a sign of work being done, rather than the familiar, debilitating joint pain. She learned to differentiate. As weeks turned into a couple of months, Eleanor began to feel a profound shift. Her legs, once hesitant and weak, now felt more substantial, more grounded. The simple act of standing up from a chair no longer required a moment of bracing. A silent prayer. Her gait became more confident, her steps surer. She could feel her muscles, those incredible natural shock absorbers, doing their job, cushioning her movements, taking the strain that had once fallen directly onto her vulnerable cartilage. She understood now what Dr. Carter meant. Building strength wasn't just about looking good. It was about creating an internal support system, a fortress for her joints. She was training each muscle group twice a week, 2-3 sets of 10 to 15 slow, controlled repetitions, just as prescribed. The routine became a rhythm, a vital part of her week. By the end of 8 weeks, Eleanor had established a solid foundation. Her morning stiffness was a distant memory, replaced by a feeling of readiness. Her overall pain had significantly reduced, a deep, pervasive ache replaced by occasional twinges that quickly faded. She felt lighter, more agile, and most importantly, she felt a burgeoning sense of trust in her own body again. This newfound resilience was a revelation. Then came the next stage, the final piece of the GSP method, progress. Eleanor, Dr. Carter explained during their next consultation, you've done an incredible job with Glide and Strengthen. Your cartilage is hydrated, your muscles are strong, and your joints are better supported. Now, it's time to teach your cartilage to become truly resilient, to adapt and thicken even further. And for that, we need to carefully reintroduce light impact . Eleanor felt a jolt of anxiety. Impact? The very word had been a taboo for so long, synonymous with pain and damage. She'd spent years avoiding it, fearing it. Dr. Carter sensed her apprehension. I understand your hesitation, Eleanor. But remember, cartilage is living tissue. It's not fragile glass. Just like muscles, it adapts to stress. Gentle, controlled impact, when your body is ready, stimulates those cartilage cells to produce more collagen and matrix, making the cartilage thicker, more elastic, and even more robust. Think of it this way, weightlifters, who put their bodies under significant, controlled stress, often have thicker cartilage than sedentary individuals. Your foundation is strong. Now we're building the roof. He outlined the plan. We'll start incredibly gently. For the next 8 to 12 weeks, you'll continue your Glide and Strengthen routine. But we'll add a new element. Your first step in progress will be simply walking. Not power walking, not running. Just a calm, flat surface walk for 10 to 15 minutes. Once a day. Listen to your body every step of the way. If you feel any sharp pain, you stop. This is about coaxing your cartilage, not forcing it. Eleanor began her new progress phase with a mixture of hope and trepidation. The first walk felt strange. Her body had been so conditioned to avoid impact that each step felt like a foreign sensation. But it wasn't painful. It was different. She focused on the rhythm of her feet on the pavement, the gentle compression and release in her knees and hips. She imagined her cartilage, that living sponge, being gently compressed with each step, then expanding, drawing in vital nutrients, becoming more flexible, more robust. Slowly, carefully, she followed Dr. Carter's advice. After a week of comfortable walking, she introduced a gentle challenge, stepping onto a low curb a few times during her walk. Then, a short flight of stairs, one step at a time, holding the railing. Each small victory was a testament to her body's incredible capacity for adaptation. She learned to truly listen to her body, discerning the difference between muscle fatigue and joint pain, between a gentle stretch and a warning signal. The transformation over the next few months was nothing short of miraculous. The persistent, nagging pain that had once dictated her life had almost entirely vanished. Her movements were fluid, uninhibited. She could walk for longer, climb stairs without a second thought, even enjoy a leisurely hike in the park, activities that had seemed utterly impossible. Just a year ago, the GSP method had been a roadmap, guiding her from despair to renewed vitality. The initial, reduced morning stiffness and easier movement she felt within 2 for weeks had been just the beginning. The significant pain reduction she experienced after 2 to 3 months of Glide and Strengthen had been life-changing. And now, after 6 to 12 months of consistent application, especially with the mindful introduction of progress, she felt an unparalleled improvement in her cartilage and joint resilience. Her joints felt strong, stable, and surprisingly young. Eleanor often looked back at the woman she was a year ago, trapped in a cycle of pain and fear, believing her body was failing her, that movement was the enemy. Now, she understood the profound truth. Movement was medicine. Her cartilage wasn't dead, inert tissue. It was a vibrant, living part of her, capable of healing, adapting, and thriving when given the right stimulus. Avoiding movement had truly been the worst thing she could do. Her journey wasn't just about pain relief, it was about reclaiming her life, rediscovering the joy of movement, and trusting her body again. The GSP method, Glide, Strengthen, Progress, wasn't just a set of exercises, it was a philosophy, a testament to the body's innate wisdom and resilience. So, if you find yourself struggling, feeling the insidious grip of joint pain and stiffness, remember Eleanor's story. Remember the living sponge of your cartilage, waiting to be nourished by movement. Remember the power of gentle, cyclical motion, the strength built through focused exercise, and the resilience forged through gradual, mindful progression. Your body is capable of extraordinary things. Give it the chance to heal, to adapt, to flourish. Embrace the journey, listen to your body, and unlock the incredible potential within you to live a life of vibrant, pain-free movement. The path to healthy, resilient joints is within your reach. All you have to do is begin.